operators are going to be chosen. It's going to start off with Black Dragons on attack, and BRK Esports will be on defense. Bomb site looking like it's going to be inside of the garage and kitchen to kick off round number 1.
And we do have Blackbeard coming out for the attack, and there's that Echo on defense. We talked about how Echo is oh so useful for this hold. You actually really need him to deny the diffuser plant inside of White, or in front of White Van, after the attackers open up that garage wall. Which might be the goal, might not be the goal of the attackers here. They have brought Thermite to the board. However, there is no Thatcher, which might slow down their attack just a little bit. They have a Twitch, which can still get those batteries if they're simply pre-placed. They also have an Ash who can open up the floor inside a piano without actually going into piano and get those batteries while she's repelling on the piano windows.
One of the things that we saw previously on Consulate has been a very high top-down approach, where we've seen Blackbeard up on the corner office window holding a flank while we have operators from the attacking squad moving in from the
admin.
The admin, I won't say archives, the admin room upstairs. Is that what, are we going to see that kind of room game? We're going to see Yuke and Nesk up top.
Well, based upon the fact that we do have a Blackbeard here on Black Dragons right now, it's entirely possible. I think we will see that focus on that clear from the top down. As you can see here, PZD starting an admin right now. He's going to be pushing his way and doing exactly what you were just talking about. That east to west clear from the top to the bottom. And they will be contending with Yuke. And I'm not sure if there's another roamer right now, but at least Yuke will be roaming to try and stop this roam clear.
I want to say 9 has already either fallen off of the roof or has already met an engagement. He's been injured. It looks as though he's about to get picked back up by a teammate. There is 50 health left on him.
Maybe he got spawn peeked and he reset himself. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm just going to assume that he got spawn peeked, took a little bit too much damage, and tried to go for the reset, because it doesn't really fit into 9XT's repertoire that he would make a mistake like that right now early in this match.
PCD is going to move on forward. Now inside of the bathroom is going to be Bandit. He's going to escape with his life, just moving on over to the yellow stairs. However, we will have Nesk on the left side inside of the corner office cubby. Looks as though this collapse, this colliding, this crossfire that we're going to see between Yuke and Nesk might lead in favor to pick off PZD.
One's going to use the C4 there, just going to pre-place it, wait for the opportune moment to detonate it, and try and take out one of the attackers. Yuke with an aggressive roam into this spiral desk in the main lobby is going to get droned out and opt to fall back into piano. This is a good call here by Yuke. Now you can see here BRK successfully wasting quite a lot of time here. The attackers have not got garage open, nor do they have enough control to really actually attack into the bomb site. They are all just slowly progressing their way down into these locker hallways. Seems like it's going to be another one of those locker hallway attacks. Kamikaze is going to be opening up that wall, that door and barbed wire to give some visibility to the attackers. Julio is going to be spotted out here by PCD. He might get pre-fired. No, he will escape.
He's going to skedaddle on out from away from pipes. I don't think garage has gotten opened up just yet.
Nope.
I think Ty's still working.
Oh, the miss!
There it is. Now the garage will get opened up, and PCD unfortunately not able to get that mirror window opened. Ty taking that a 5.56 to Nesk. That's going to be the first kill of this round. Now there's 30 seconds left to go. Julio is going to pick up a kill out into PCD. Ty gets another double frag, and we're going to have Psycho get one kill of his own there onto Yuke. Last man alive is going to be Zig. He comes down out of the middle office there, tries to get a kill onto Psycho. He does, tags one on the Kamikaze. It's now a 1-on-2. He still has his mirror window, but it's already been opened up, and therefore the shots will come through for a 9XT, and we will have Zig fall. That's going to be round 1, going into the hands of Black Dragon.
What a collapse there from Black Dragons. They didn't simply commit themselves to a locker hallway take. They also pushed in through the main garage, albeit late in the round. However, that caught, as you could see there, BRK quite a bit off guard. They were not expecting the pressure to be coming from that big garage so late. Because of that, their defense fell apart as they were looking both ways in unison. Now, Black Dragons, they will be going on to their own defense, and it will be into the same bomb site, this basement garage hold. They are going to be bringing a mute to the field, and that's going to be an attempt to try and slow down that drone game just as much as possible. Also, it might be put onto the main garage, as there is no bandit here for a Black Dragons. Now, you have to imagine, actually, that bringing a mute rather than a bandit is probably the right call. as he will give you one more C4. Of course, Bandit can bring C4, but why would you if you can bring Barbed Wire? He will have one C4, which can, you know, get you some good vertical play, and any of the attackers coming from above. More importantly, mute jammers are more useful than batteries when it comes to not focusing entirely on denying somebody thermiting a wall, and that's probably not going to be the main focus of the mute.
Yeah, we've seen mute used quite often on Consulate, especially for hiding the location of the roamers on the top floor and as well as middle floor. And in particular, on this hold that we're seeing Black Dragons set up is going to be used to stop drones from getting into the bathroom, getting into the piano room easily, because that's going to be where we see the hold coming out of Black Dragons. And we are going to have Julio move inside of the our admin office, and we're looks as though that's going to be Psycho gets spotting out.
I really like how this is a basement hold, and we have a Valkyrie roaming all the way up in the admin office, really committing to where he knows the attack is going to be coming from. And he's exactly correct. It's going to give Julio second thoughts about where it is he wants to enter into the building. Is he going to try and commit to this admin take, or will he simply rotate? Meanwhile, Nesk is going to read into that and assume there are no roamers close to the west side, and he is correct as Zig drones it out for him. Now it's going to be a shift from BRK. They were initially coming from the east, now from the west, and they have actually trapped the Black Dragons roamers up in the admin office, who are going to have to fight their way out tooth and nail to come out on top.
It's going to come down to the gunfight here because Black Dragons knows the drones are coming out. We already see Yuke up the Visa stairwell. And unfortunately, though, like you said, Black Dragons roamers have been spotted out. They have been quartered out. And we are going to see them not unable to get back to site. We just watched Garage get opened up there by Zig. That's the majority of the garage getting opened. As Yuke now inside of the top floor, dropping down to reception area. A soft drop hatch, an unusual soft drop there in the kitchen.
BRK still struggling with this roam game that they know exists. They're waiting for their opportune moment to take out the player inside a bathroom. Meanwhile, PCD's going to take out one. That's the Blackbeard off the board. That is huge kill there for the defenders. Blackbeard not going to be able to win any of those definitive engagements anymore.
It sounded like a C4 got tossed up and hurt Yuke just a little bit. He's down to about 60, 70 health. Looks like a drop. Oh, no, that would have been just Julio hopping off of the yellow column to move on over behind the van. 9XT still looking over towards pipes, right towards Zake, who's causing a lot of distraction, allowing Yuke, Nesk, and Julio to move around. Now, somehow magically, we have Psycho able to get back onto site undetected, unharmed. However, 9XT not so lucky. Same with Kamikaze. PCD's going to get a trade on a Yuke, though. 3-on-3 still, 15 seconds up to go. Psycho still trying to hold down the fort. Zig picks up a 5.56 kill as Nesk also takes out the shots there onto PCD. Psycho, last man alive, will go down by Julio.
Almost the same attack there from BRK that Black Dragons played last round, which was take control of the roam game, then pivot around the entire bomb site, come from lockers and main garage, and push in unison. A full collapse. I love the coordination from both these teams on those attacks. Now, BRK unsuccessful in their first defense of the garage. They are going to go back into the same bomb site again, try to force this out. Very clearly, both these teams heavily favor this bomb site. You got to imagine, though, if BRK loses this defense, we're going to see Black Dragons try to go somewhere else on their next.
I would assume so. I don't like, as much as this bottom bomb site seems to be the preferred site for these teams, they have other strategies for every other bomb site here, and so it's optional for them to change it up and go either mid floor or top floor.
We'll see exactly who it is who wins their first defense here, only on round number 3 now. 2 attack wins thus far, 1 for each team. BRK, last time they were here, they put a mirror window onto that big garage. Are they going to do that again? So last time, it actually didn't do very much in the favor of the defenders. It did slow down the thermite opening up that garage wall whatsoever.
Yeah, and you talked about how sometimes it's viable to place the mirror window middle, lower section of the garage wall, and that way you can throw impact grenades or C4, whatever it may be, to get rid of Hibana charges or thermite charges. But I think that was a standing mirror window we saw Zig place down.
Black Dragons just looking for the roamers right now. Starting to clear them out for their opportunities to get some kills and get that early man advantage. We've seen from both these teams the roam games to be very successful in defaulting back into the site. It usually comes down to a 5-on-5 on the bomb site. So if it were the case that Yuk or whomever it is that other roamer is that you can see right on the crosshair of PZD manages to die here, I would be very surprised.
I think one of the reasons that mirror window may go on the front of Garage is due to the fact that now that is a point of contention as to whether or not the attackers are going to decide to use, if they brought Hibana, use it onto the side garage walls, or actually go and open up that mirror window, because that's then going to use up one of those 3 charges. And if they decide to go on the left or the right side of the mirror window, that mirror window is still viable. They can still play that central point. If not, then they've used up one of the 3 Hibana charges, and that's going to allow for a smaller entry hole, or they're just going to use it to open up the entire front garage.
9XT's going to take out Yuk, and it's all down to Nesk on this roam now. He's going to be the last one on this top floor. He is, I believe, undetected, but no! Kamikaze will spot him out and finish him off. It's a 3-on-5 now. BRK not looking very good in this round. Might be another attack victory here for Black Dragons.
Yeah, Black Dragons showing that they know how to clear out the roamers. We saw the spots out. We actually saw the majority of Black Dragons head upstairs and clear out those roamers. What a fabulous job they've just done. 50 seconds left on the board, and they've got plenty of time to just collapse on the remaining defenders here, bunkered down inside of the garage and the kitchen. PZD's going to drone down the circle stairs as we've got, I believe that's going to be 9XT working his way.
He hits the shot this time.
Wonderful job. That was, again, a successful knock on the oxygen tank of that mirror window. Looks like kitchen drop hatch will get opened up as Ty will finish up the garage wall. And now we've got plenty of openings here. Zig's gonna tag one, looks on over, he goes for the shotgun kill there onto Ty, magically takes it on over. Can he smack another one onto PZD? He hits once but misses the full target, and now that's gonna be a 2-on-3. This could be a nice collapse here by BRK. He's gonna get one kill, get traded out, one snags another, and there's only one man left alive standing as Ty has been injured, and the round will go into the favor of the defenders. BRK Esports, they win round 3 just by the lack of time here. Wonderful collapse, and unfortunately, Black Dragons just wasted too much time, even though they had a 2-man advantage.
Wow, what a fantastic 3-on-5 win for a BRK. That really shouldn't have happened, let's be honest. Not sure what happened there with Ty pushing in through the garage. A little bit of an oversight, ignoring the Mira. But now the first defense win of this map, and we will have BD try to go down in this garage yet again. Can they get the same defense win in response and bring it back to an even scoreline 2-2? Or will BRK be able to extend their lead?
I forget who, if a sledge or a buck had been brought, but I think Black Dragons missed an opportunity to open up some of the piano room floor or middle corridor floor because it didn't seem like there was a lot of vertical pressure put on BRK Esports.
Well, that's because they spent way too much time clearing out those 2 roamers upstairs. And because after they cleared out the 2 roamers, I think they only had a minute left. And from there, they didn't really, they could have, yes, you tried to utilize that vertical game through the piano floor, but it would have taken too much time. I mean, that's what we saw them do last time. Last time they had established control over the roam game, forced the defenders down. They did just that. They used that vertical game, and it worked great for them. It's just not enough time. We are going to be seeing Black Dragons yet again, dedicating Psycho all the way up here in the admin office.
Now, last time, I believe it was Psycho had been spotted out, had been droned out. We thought he had been quartered off, and unfortunately for BRK, they allowed him to rotate back down onto site.
Yeah, unfortunate that happened. They just weren't enough. They weren't aggressive enough with their roam clear. Nesk is going to take out 9XT. That's the Jaeger off the board. Good angle here from Nesk, using patience to simply wait here and see when that rotation was going to come. He knew it was going to happen, and it did.
And that's some of the power of that jammer, that mute jammer we just witnessed, was Nesk tossing out his drone, instantly being denied access as the jammer just put it to a halt.
Why to bring in mute instead of a Bandit 101, especially on a map like Consulate?
Yeah, there, especially on Consulate Garage, there's so many different ways to get rid of the bandit charges, or at least kill bandit before he's able to fully swap the garage doors. So that's why we don't see that often, and that's also why we're starting to see more mute play rather than bandit.
BRK, meanwhile, have taken mostly full control over these top 2 floors. I think they've pushed the majority of the BD defense down into the basement. But we do have Psycho playing over by Visa Hallway. This is very dangerous, but it could pay off amazingly well for his team here if he gets the flank at the right moment.
Nesk is going to be pushing down the yellow stairs, however, it looks like. He's by soda machines at the moment. Psycho, though, he will move in forward. PZD could also collapse from above. One is going to be holding the flank, or holding the corridor by yellow, or by the corner office. However, there is Yuke. He's managing to take the head there off of Kamikaze. Wonderful frag there to give BRK Esports a 2-man advantage with 35 seconds to go. Nest still looking back and forth between circle stairs and yellow stairs. And Yuke is now just going to pre-fire some more of the floor. Looks on up towards the drop edge. Psycho inching his way ever so slightly into the reception area. He's going to be able to get this down. Zig, however, will manage to get in front of the white van. Plant could go down as there is nothing there to stop him. It gets to C4 in hand by Ty. Julio, though, will finish off Psycho. PZD goes down. Last man alive was Ty. However, Zig had something to say about it, and BRK will walk away with a flawless round there.
So BRK's take, clear out the roam game, or at least do the best they can in clearing out the roam game. Then start with that vertical game and open up the garage at the same time. Apply pressure via garage and vertical. Meanwhile, they still had Julio, as you can see there, on his drone, watching for that flank from Psycho. I actually thought that Psycho flank might have brought it back for Black Dragons, but BRK was accounting for that. You could see here, BRK covering all the bases. I absolutely love that. And now they are going to be defending the first floor. So the BRK meta seemingly reflective of the North American meta, or maybe vice versa, whatever the case be, not going to the top floor. Now, I think that could be, I think that's mostly just, again, we put a Blackbeard on one of those windows upstairs, and he has so much control on that A balcony facing towards connector, or on the B bomb site just in the B bomb site, or B bomb site windows just in the B bomb site itself. Wherever you put him, honestly, he just control, control, control. Whereas where you're going to the basement, going to that front floor, or that first floor, there's not nearly as much coming from Blackbeard. He still is very useful, but he's not completely dominating.
Now, we've talked about this before. I think it was yesterday during the North American Pro League about a team, I think it might have been Flipside, hard holding this top floor center room, the projector room, if you will. And that's something that we talked about, how there's not a lot of cover, if there's any hard cover, other than the bomb when the bomb site's topside.
Absolutely right. Holding in that projector room does present you as a defender with a lot of issues, especially when you've got 9XT about to rappel onto your balcony. In all likelihood, he is going to be the perfect counter to that hold, because he brings cover of his own.
Now we do have Nesk at the top of the yellow stairs. He's just going to be waiting for some sound cues or repels into either the connector or corner office. But this is the reason why you bring Pulse. We saw Pulse brought numerous times yesterday when the bomb site was main floor. And we're going to be seeing this yet again here inside of the servers.
He's just looking for information gathering as much as possible, as well as the ability to get that C4, but it's likely not going to happen here, as it doesn't seem like Black Dragons are going to be pressuring straight into Visa. I think they're just trying to keep control of Visa, deny Pulse from pulsing in Visa into admin, which is where Black Dragons are attacking from right now. If Zig can make his way into Visa and get underneath these attackers, he will get a C4 kill and put his team in a good spot. But he's going to play a little bit more passive than that.
Now one is still here. He's going to look for the shots. The flashbang comes on out, and PCD will walk away even though he's disoriented. That's a 4-on-5 now. You saw the collapse. Many, if not 4 or 5, 4 of the attack operators able to push there onto one. Yuke will also meet the burden of death here as Kamikaze manages to smack a kill there down onto him.
Yeah, you might actually think that this is an upstairs attack, but remember, it's a first floor attack. As you can see here, it's just the case that BRK has invested so heavily in holding this top floor, which has resulted in them losing 2 players early on. Now Black Dragons have full control and the ability to get that defuse plan if they go about this attack correctly.
Now, this is going to be a very useful yokai, giving a lot of utility, a lot of information as to who is above the site, when they're going to drop, and he also has the ability to disorient them while that happens. 30 seconds left to go. Ty's going to drop in about 5 seconds. There it goes. He gets disoriented on the way. Julie's going to come out for this peek, for this push. Zig gets taken out there, but not before he snags a kill there. And that will be a 1-on-4. Julio's going to bring that yokai drone down. Diffuser gets planted, and unfortunately, though, looks like a smack in the back of the head by Julio, and PZD managing to get that kill.
Good coverage here from Black Dragons. Love this hole that was opened up to cover the bathroom doorway. You don't see that very often. Usually the bathroom doorway is just forfeited to the defenders as a point of where they could contend the defuse plant from. But you can see here Black Dragons covering all their bases. I love the way they executed that attack. Watching Visa, just in case the pulse came up, he did eventually. Very late, but he did. As well as just taking full control over that top floor with droning out the defenders in their positions and then collapsing on them in unison. Great attack there. Now BRK, they are going to be going on to their own attack, and Black Dragons, meanwhile, going to be defending, you guessed it, the basement, as they have been unsuccessful in this endeavor thus far.
This is the 3rd attempt for Black Dragons, and one's got to think that, hey, something's got to change here. Something's got to give. How are you going to get this down successfully? And if not, where are you going to go next?
Last time they defended the basement, it seemed like they were kind of reading into it, but it was not enough. They very clearly did lose to a BRK on a nice BRK attack. We'll see how they choose to adapt in this round, if they will show us anything new. Now, they did, it looks like they're going to have Mira, putting that mirror window inside of the bathroom yet again, and trying to have Black Dragons hard hold inside the bathroom of the first floor instead of, forfeiting control of the piano completely, which has had mixed results throughout the teams we've seen use it. Hasn't worked for Black Dragons yet.
Ness going to get his way to the top roof here, looking in towards the skylight of the circle stairs. And right now, he's merely just trying to see, is there going to be any kind of easily rotation he can take advantage of, snagging a couple shots onto someone's leg. And Psycho, though, he's going to be here on the top of yellow stairs, the only roamer on the top side. Nesk is fully aware of Psycho being here, as he did just get droned out, so he's going to try to hold down one of the corridors, one of the sides of the column, and unfortunately, though, it looks as though Psycho may be stuck. 9XT working his way down the Visa stairs, as we have Kamikaze trying to hold the flank, move on up the stairs from lockers.
BRK is decidedly less focused on the locker hallway here than we've seen any team be so far in this particular attack. Seems like their main focus is just, let's open the drop downs, let's open up the main garage, and let's just get that push underway. We are seeing Kamikaze progressing up those spiral stairs. Psycho's gonna take out Yuke. That's the Twitch gone. Kamikaze, meanwhile, looking on that aggressive angle, waiting for one of the attackers to stray into his crosshair. Doesn't seem like anyone's anywhere near him.
Yeah, and with the Twitch getting taken out, I don't know if we got to see if the mirror windows were removed or opened up just yet, but Julio's going to snag a kill of himself. That's going to be moving on over to Psycho. That was actually the Valkyrie. I think that was on the yellow stairs, or potentially close into piano.
Whatever the case be, good kill there on the Valkyrie, and that's going to be that refrag that was so desperately needed. Now with 1 minute left to go, we will have BRK start to contest this garage, get it open, and continue on with their attack.
Now garage wall will get opened up there by Zig. Again, the late opening up the garage door hopefully forced off the bandit. However, Kamikaze has already been off site. He's back here. Zig picks up that one kill there. That's going to be on to Psycho or to PZD.
PZD.
Julio still looking up through the drop hatch. This is the power of the Hibana to be able to open up the drop hatches as Thermite gets the garage, and therefore lots of control has been forfeited by Black Dragons. We are going to see this most likely go into the hands of BRK. However, 9XT is still in a very solid position. diffuser is going to get planted by Zig. However, Julio's going to drop down from the bathroom, pick up a double kill. Last man's going to be 9XT coming in through the hallway. He tags one, he tags two. Can he get a third one there on a Zig? He does not, and that will be round ending. BRK is going to win round number 6, go up 4-2.
What an excellent try there from 9XT. He almost made that comeback happen. Unfortunately, he hit the torso of the Thermite instead of the head, and because of that, we will have BRK come out on top and put themselves on a match point here on Consulate. Now that attack from BRK, again, not very much focused on those locker hallway. Instead, just drop downs, main garage wall, and that's it. They didn't even bother to clear out the roamers. They simply applied pressure to the site, and Black Dragons lost those engagements.
Now BRK, after going upstairs into the first floor, have decided to go downstairs yet again. And, I mean, they were successful before. Will they be successful again? Let's stay tuned and see.
Yeah, they had one lose, one victory down here, and I think that they can make this site work again for them. Now, they've got to be feeling comfortable on being on match point, going on to their preferred bomb site to just try and, finish this off. They also have a buffer round, so even if they lose this round, they still have one more to deny that overtime for Black Dragons. They are going to be bringing a very common lineup here. No big surprises on either of these teams in terms of operator selection. It's interesting, though, somewhat, that both of them choose Twitch over Thatcher entirely.
Yeah, we are, like I said, going to see this mirror window up on the garage again, and it's a bit of an we'll call it odd placement in the sense that we talked about it before, that with the Latin American scene, they tend to place these mirror windows in places that if they get compromised, it doesn't necessarily destroy the integrity of the one bomb site.
Yeah, and that one definitely falls in line with that. I mean, having one on the garage wall, the garage wall is one of those things. It's almost a lot of teams actually just kind of like, oh, yep, they're gonna get it open. We just need to be able to handle ourselves after it gets open. And having that mirror window there, I mean, you can try and make a play under the Thermite, but it's not gonna end the game if you don't. It'll make it significantly harder, of course, but it's just giving you that opportunity, basically.
Now Yuk will be tagged. He was actually going to be injured by his own teammate here to get himself back to 50 health after what was a brief engagement.
Yeah, if you shoot someone through the wall, it's I believe, a guaranteed down with the majority of weapons.
Except shotguns for that.
Yeah, except for shotguns. Since they don't have Rook armor, they're of course going to need to use that wall just to try and make their chances a little bit better of not actually killing the teammate.
Now you can see Julio, he moved his yokai drone all the way from that front reception area on the main floor over to the position where we've seen the plant go down, or at least attempt to go down numerous times today. And that is going to be Julio needing to stay alive for the next minute, 15 seconds until that push ultimately unfolds.
Yeah, and that Echo is so very good at denying that diffuse plant. He's basically one of the better operators, especially in this particular defense. The basement, just denying that diffuse plant in front of the white van is great with Echo drones.
And there's going to be a C4 kill from one on to PZD. Or I'm sorry, onto Psycho.
That's going to be through the floor. You can see there outside of the... Oh, no. Aggression from Ness called out by his teammates is going to eliminate the Blackbeard. I believe that's 9XT. That means that all the pressure now is falling to Black Dragons in this 3 versus 5. 37 seconds left to go. They need to win this round in order to deny an outright victory for BRK.
Yeah, and unfortunately, though, they are not going to even go for Garage. PZD will fall, Ty, and Kamikaze last two alive. Kamikaze is going to try to fight one here inside of the server. One's going to navigate back and away, going down towards the hallway. Looks like a couple pre-fires going to go. Flashbangs comes on out, and that will force one to stay here. Oh, no, that's going to be Yuk. Yuk gets taken out of commission at 2 on 4 now. Here we have Ty trying to pressure his way. 7 seconds left to go. Kamikaze needs to get through this barbed wire. However, it's not looking like it's going to fortify real well for him. He's going to push in, gets disoriented. Ness picks up one, Zig picks up the other, and BRK Esports will win round number 7. They will also win map number 1 here on Consulate. And we are going to see our second map of the day, and that's going to be on Chalet.
Good half there, good round, good match to BRK to win that outright. Seeming very strong here on Consulate. Now, Black Dragons did put up one heck of a fight. It wasn't quite like the last match we watched earlier today, but it was still a 5-2 scoreline, and that is pretty dominant for BRK.
Yeah, a lot of it, like you said, it was definitely a dominant force by BRK. Some of the rounds, however, could have gone one way or the other. I mean, we saw that, what was it, a 2v5 or a 2v4 clutch?
It was a 3 versus 5 clutch from
3v5,
BRK
3v5.
as they were defending in the basement, and it seemed like it was going to go in BD's favor, but for somehow the mirror got overlooked at the bottom of stairs and managed to get 2 kills and almost a third.
Almost a third, yeah. Tagged, I think it was the Blackbeard coming on down, picked up the Thermite secondary, tried to get the Twitch for the 3K,
Yep.
but Twitch ended up going back up the yellow stairs. And
Meanwhile, the rest of the Black Dragons attack was a little bit too spread out over by the locker side of things and on the drop downs, and they just couldn't influence that mirror window or that mirror playing that position. And because of that, there wasn't enough. I feel like there on that particular round, there just wasn't enough force being exerted in one particular lane from Black Dragons, and they just lost their individual fights. And if you're gonna encircle, that's great. That works really well. But you have to have, if you're gonna do that, you need to make sure that all of your players are gonna win their fights. If they lose their fights, then the circle falls apart at one particular place, and then it just evaporates.
yep, because then that leaves that roam hole open up for that person who killed your attacker, opened up the circle, able to rotate around. But one of the things that it seemed like maybe not necessarily Black Dragons did intentionally, or maybe not even the case of what they did, but what we've seen from some teams doing is once they get this 5v3 or 5v3 momentum going in their favor, they kill off the roamers. They then almost take what can be considered a deep breath or a sigh of relief, saying, "Okay, we've cleared out the roamers. Let's reform. Let's settle down." And that's almost what they did. They took too much time, and then ultimately you had about 30 seconds or so for Black Dragons to try to make this push onto the garage, and it just did not go in their favor.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Now, I think that moving into this next map, there's still very much potential for BD to make a comeback. I think these two teams are much more evenly matched than the teams that we saw play earlier today. And I think that we will likely see that third map. At least I really sincerely hope that we're going to see that third map.
Yeah. The third map, again, is going to be Bank. Our second map of the day is going to be Chalet. Black Dragons, unfortunately, did not win the first map. BRK came out successfully in a 5-2 victory.
Good for them.
We are just going to be getting into the game here momentarily, but talking about, I want to reiterate again because this is a very important game. The winner of this series, which right now is in favor of BRK after winning the first map, the winner of this series will move in to secure the second seed, or the second spot. Not seed necessarily, but that second invitation to the LAN event in Cologne, Germany at Gamescom, middle of August. I think it's the 19th and 20th, or maybe the 25th and 26th of August. Whatever it may be, the winner of this game will go to that. Now, Black Dragons here. Black Dragons, unfortunately, like we said, they kind of missed a few opportunities there on Consulate. Hopefully they can come back here on Chalet, because the roam game, again, is something that we've seen time and time again make or break a defensive team here on Chalet.
Yeah, on that note, I mean, we did see Black Dragons go for a much more committed roam game when they were defending, and I think that that's going to work to their advantage here on Chalet. However, it might have just been BRK reading into Consulate very well. It might have just been BRK saying, okay, we actually don't need to roam necessarily on this site. We could just kind of play it a little bit more passively. They did just that. It worked for them well. And now moving, well, they did that on some rounds. In some rounds, they also had Nesk and Yuke play so aggressively in the top floor that they actually ended up getting picked off. I mean, that 3 versus 5 we talked about earlier, that was because Nesk and Yuke got taken out on the top floor. They learned their mistakes, though. And I think that BRK is probably going to read into Chalet, say, okay, well, on Chalet, we need to be able to maintain that roam game. We have to keep our presence up. And I think that I don't know. I think Black Dragons has a really good spot, a really good chance here with their roamers, but I don't. Black Dragons is going to be able to, or sorry, BRK is going to be able to adjust.
Yeah, and I mean, so Consulate was BRK's map. Black Dragons chose Chalet, so hopefully we're going to see Black Dragons be able to overcome the obstacles.
Win on their own map.
Basically win on their own map, overcome the obstacles which they faced on Consulate. Chalet, though, we have seen top 4 holds, we have seen bar and gaming room holds, but this map, as opposed to Consulate, is more, we'll call it set, in terms of what bomb sites are typically chosen.
Basement and kitchen trophy. And those are the 2 bomb sites that are chosen more often than not on this map. We have seen some really successful play in the bar room, but bar and gaming room, but it's not very common.
Yeah, I think it was either bittersweet or I think did Omen try that out some too during playday number.
It was I think it was the bittersweet infamy matchup, and it was the master as well as the bar and gaming room, and I think it was actually bittersweet specifically who made those successfully work for them.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Omen had tried; they had unfortunately gone to the wayside and didn't successfully get those bomb sites held down.
Omen had a rough season this particular season. They kind of got eliminated really early on.
For those of you wondering, Omen is a team from the North American scene at a Group A, which unfortunately did get eliminated immediately. They were one of the first teams to get eliminated in the Pro League.
Yeah.
But no, regardless, though, we're here on Chalet. Thinking about Chalet, though, again, we're talking about the bomb sites. We know basement, we have multiple different avenues on how to force your attack onto the bottom bomb site. Top floor bomb site, a little bit different. We've seen a few different holds. With that type of hold on the top floor, though, we know that we need to stop the ladders for that top floor bomb site. We've seen the successful hold by Bittersweet on the top floor. And for the ladder, we saw the middle bush by L. We saw a member from Bittersweet look over onto the balcony above Fireplace, stop that ladder climb, if you will. Is that a pivotal thing to make sure that the attacking squad doesn't gain access to?
Just remember, it was the Elevate versus Bittersweet, and it was Bittersweet who was defending that master. And so yeah, what you were talking about there was just yes, it's really nice that angle they were using, but the thing is about that balcony that they were using the angle onto that ladder is that you can actually rappel onto the balcony. You don't have to use the ladder. That one specific, and then the master balcony. Those are the two Those are the two balconies that you can rappel onto. Apart from those two balconies, you can't rappel onto any of the other ones. The one outside of the master bathroom, the one outside of master itself apart from the square balcony, and then the one outside of office, library, what have you, all of those you need to use the ladder. So if you can maintain control over those ladders, you can maintain control over the top floor in theory.
Now, that is going to be a tough feat to do, but we might see it here as we are going to get underway on Chalet. Again, it is map number 2. BRK Esports secured map number 1. Now, they're going to start an attack as Black Dragons will take a hold onto defense. And it looks as though we are going to go inside of the kitchen and trophy room to kick off the first round.
All right, so yeah, we are going to be seeing Trophy as the first defense of this particular map. And this is very common. It's what we're used to seeing. No big surprises here. Black Dragons going for the old reliable on Chalet. And that stands to reason, especially considering they're already a map down. They really need to refine out these round wins. And on this map, you got to go with the what you know in order to get that win. We are going to have, in all likelihood, a very heavy roam game coming up from Black Dragons as they are putting a mural window and reinforcements into this master hallway, which is it's okay. I have to say, I've seen this a lot. I've seen this particular strategy so many times, and I've seen it work, but about 10% of the time. 10% of the time we see the teams try to defend this top floor, invest a bunch of castle barricades and mirror windows and reinforcements up there. It almost never does. And I'd be really intrigued if Black Dragons makes it work, because it would be, honestly, a feat. But
that's one of the things we're missing. We're missing the castle. You mentioned the castle barricades.
Yeah.
And typically that's put on the master bedroom door next to Mira so that the window was not necessarily a contention point for, into the master bedroom.
Right, you are. I mean, obviously, it's got to play out differently in scrims, and that's why these teams use this particular strat. But in Pro League, it just is not very commonly successful. And I'm really curious to see if Black Dragons is going to make it work. Meanwhile, BRK, they're just looking for their opportunities to get this push in. It looks like they're not going to put too much emphasis on the library, at least not initially, as they know they have Psycho playing inside that library. He's going to be able to deny that ladder, and thus the library balcony. Oh, but no, a grenade from Julio onto Psycho. That's library control in the favor of BRK. Meanwhile, 9XT is going to trade it back onto 1. Now, with only 1 minute progressed in this round, we will have an even trade back and forth between these two teams. and the pressure is mounting for BD as BRK comes in from library.
Now there are still 3 roamers upstairs, 9XT, Kamikaze, and PZD. We see 9XT inside of the bathroom waiting for Julio to try to come up the ladder. Nade's going to come flying in though, most likely. You can see him cooking it right there. He's going to land up top and will tag him. Will not do too much damage as 9XT will be there to get the Jaeger. Kamikaze's also going to look his way inside of the bathroom. Now that hole was opened up mid-round, so it might not have been, might not have been detected for the rotation hole, but there it is. The drone just spotted it out.
Say what you will about this upstairs defense, but it has tripped up BRK attack, but no, they're just coming in straight from dining table.
He's going to tag 1, he's going to tag 2, Ty and 9XT going back down, and we'll see the shots from PZD land and rain from above. There's only 2 members from Black Dragons left alive. One's going to come in from the fireplace, that's Kamikaze coming from behind. PZD still above. The plant might go down by Uke, and it looks like it will be here momentarily. We see Nesk looking for the drop hatch. He knows that PCD is there, goes for the shots, tags him. We'll get him on down. He's still a buck outside. Uke seems to be inside of dining. Another headshot tap by Uke, and that's going to be, or by PCD. Wonderful shot there on the Uke. Last man alive is going to be Julio in a one-on-one, 30 seconds to go. Julio has 0 frag grenades left. His skeleton key is not going to be overly useful. He's on a brick wall side, and that's not going to be necessarily in his favor. 20 seconds left to go. He's going to come in through fireplace. You already know PCD's looking right here, looking for the shot. The pre-fire is going to come on out, but it will not happen as the headshot comes flying in through kitchen over towards the headshot there of Julio. Black Dragons will win round number 1 here on Chalet.
What a clutch from PZD. It absolutely should have been a BRK round through and through. They had site control. They didn't need to worry about anyone coming from trophy. They had 2 players looking towards that kitchen drop down, but PZD with some excellent gunplay manages to clutch it out. What a job by him. Now Bar is going to be our defense for the first by BRK. Something different like this BRK. See if they can make it work. Now arguably, again, as I talked about, probably that last attack probably should have gone in favor of BRK. Let's be real. Strategically, they capitalized on the fact that that Black Dragons was roaming so heavily upstairs, and they're like, hey, we'll just waltz on into the site, and they did just that. They had established control. It was just a clutch, of course, from VZD to bring it back. But that's got to mean that BRK is not feeling too worried here, and that makes a lot of sense as they have gone down up into Bar and Gaming Room, which is a site which takes a lot of confidence to defend.
It definitely does. It takes a lot of confidence. It also takes a lot of practice and communication. But I think seeing it done successfully by Bittersweet and other teams as well is going to allow them to be more confident in the strategy. I know that many times teams will take a look at their own VODs or at the VODs of their opponents, but in a scene such as this, where the meta tends to be different from each region or varies per region, you also need to take a look at those different regions to see if you can pick up some things. And I feel like BRK Esports may have done just that by looking into Bittersweet's strategy for this.
Wow, I love this camera here. That is going to give a lot of information to the defenders. And the run-out will happen from Uke. A double kill there on the Kamikaze, and Thai is going to put BRK in a very strong position in this round. Gotta love that camera. Wow.
That's going to give them just a tremendous amount of advantage here. Julio's going to be above, looking at the back stairwell. Diffuser has been dropped, I want to say, by the attackers. That's a 2-on-5 now. That Psycho, Kamikaze, and Thai are no longer fighting for their life. 9XT and PZD working the way. PZD coming in from the big garage. That's going to be the garage with the van going in towards the wine cellar. Total opposite side of the map. Still plenty of time, but not the man counts in their favor. You have 9XT working his way from the top. He might be meeting Uke here. One shot from that distance with the close quarter combat gun from Blackbeard.
Yeah, now Black Dragons on a 2-on-5, 130. They have the time, but not the manpower. This would be one of the better comebacks in Pro League history.
Oh, now 9XT's gonna. Oh, I was gonna say he wasn't gonna spot him out, but he will finally. Uke's gonna move on forward, try to wallbang the shots. Like I said, one bullet will down him, another bullet will finish him off, and that is gonna be it for Uke. However, that's only one man down for BRK. Julio's still going to cover the stairs from above. He's going to miss PCD right away, but he could get this frag onto him as he peeks on up. Mute Jammer's going to hide his footsteps, though, so he won't necessarily be heard unless he starts running like he's doing right now.
Also, he's going to get on his drone, and it will be spotted by the Mute Jammer. Julio's going to be fully aware of where PCD is right now.
vice versa. That's exactly why PCD got on that drone. It was for the exact reason of trying to spot out who was going to be on the stairs. Julio will tag the kill, but be injured in the process. 9XT, last man alive, taking a couple bullets, though. Looks as though one's going to go for the drop shot. He lands the kill. We talked about the fact that typically the Valkyrie will not win that engagement, but when he's flustered on those stairs, we will have one able to manage that frag and get the kill.
Round number 3 now, as it is an even score line, but the rounds that have been won, seemingly, the only dominant round we saw was BRK's win. Black Dragons did manage to get that first win, but it was kind of just PCG stepping up for a squad and really clutching it out. Now, we are going to see the basement defense come out here, and it seems like Black Dragons is trying to stick to a little bit more of the typical. I really do like the fact that BRK managed to make that gaming room and bar defense work in the previous round, though. I think it's finding itself a little bit more into the meta. Okay, I want to say that, but at the same time, it's still kind of just a pocket strat, to be real with you. There's a lot of teams out there who don't know how to handle it, though, and Black Dragons is quite clearly one of those teams. Although, arguably, because they lost those 2 players outside so early, may have just been that sole fact that didn't give them enough power pushing into the bomb site.
And we're hopefully going to keep an eye on the mirror to see where the window placements go. Looks as though one's going to be facing the back garage. That's going to be the north garage. Now Nesk will be working his way here from the west entry point, going upstairs to the library. Still not too much here. We have a Fuse in the mix, though. That's going to be the first time Fuse has made an appearance today. And looks as though that's going to be used to just forcefully rotate some of the defenders out of sight when the lobby gets taken over.
Yeah, Fuse is extremely useful here on this map, but he hasn't seen any play yet. The third round, of course, there's still plenty of time for him to be a little bit more prominent. He's actually got the AK-12, which a lot of people don't know about the AK-12. It's actually got some of the highest DPS in the game. It's a really good gun. Just got a lot of recoil is all.
Now we have still around 2/3 of the round left to go. Julio's going to get off his drone, move in towards the gaming room. Nesk is already on the fireplace stairs. Just trying to clear it as much as possible. Looks like a little engagement at the top stairs. That's going to be by the kitchen stairs, by office and master bedroom. 9XT will eat a couple bullets there, and that will be the end of him. Good frag by Zig. Also taking out the Vault cam and the stationary cam, the default cam, as he moves on out of the master bedroom over towards the kitchen stairs. Coming up from the basement, one is looking around. He will ultimately get some of the wall opened up, or some of the floor opened up into sight. Looks as though another kill here. Nesk will remove Kamikaze. That's going to be a great frag. There's the Fuse charge. He's going to try to get a kill here. Ty will stand his ground inside a connector, realizing that the cluster charge just isn't necessarily in the perfect location. 50 seconds to go. And we are going to have BRK trying to continue the win here. Julio will tag one down, tags 2. 1 with the cluster charge, 2 with the weapon. And we do have a 1-on-4 now that Nesk has been taken out. There's the last cluster charge. Thai hears it. He's actually going to run into the charge, and there might be another kill here. No! The 3 armor, 1 speed is able to glide away as we have Zig moving on down the fireplace stairs. To the right side is going to be Ute. Julio still above. Zig calls him on out. He'll be taken out there with a headshot. Now a 3-on-1. 20 seconds left to go. Flashbang's going to come on out. Looks like drop hatch is where Julio might be dropping in from. Right side again is going to be where Uke is. One's going to be inside of the bar. Looking on down. Uke gets the plant. Successful. And this round will go into BRK Esports. Final moment's going to be as Ty takes out the shotgun, tries to go looking up from above, opens up the floor, has to reload that Vector. However, with many lines of sight onto this connector, Ty is likely not even to take one step out, potentially. As he does that, there's one there. I'll call that a half a step. One will then take him out of commission, and we will have the round again going in favor of BRK Esports.
So BRK cleared out that roam game. Then from there, they just established control over the vertical of that basement defense, which they utilized very aptly. using those fuse charges and just opening up the floor and getting the line of sight onto the anchors, who were unable to rotate, maneuver enough to try and, you know, just get those trade backs. And after that, we saw a very clear-cut round in a 1 versus 4. And what you'd expect in terms of scoreline. Now Black Dragons, they are at the deficit here at BRK 2-1 in their favor. Will be going into their own basement defense.
Now, I think it's worth noting here that Black Dragons has foregone the thermite, and we've only got a Hibana on a bottom stairs or a bottom wine cellar and garage take.
And arguably, you don't really need the thermite in a lot of these sites, but on this one, oh no, but actually we will have, it seems Zig is going to be opening up that closet wall, which means the thermite isn't going to be essential per se, but he would have still been useful. Definitely does make a bigger hole into that main A wall.
It depends on how Black Dragons is going to try to progress on the site. If they're going to force their way over towards Snowmobile Garage and use the Hibana charges,
then
guess what? That's going to
hurt.
It's definitely going to hurt and definitely be a huge struggle for Black Dragons.
Like this camera here from 1. Oh, it's going to get taken out early though. We've seen some really useful cameras from both of these teams so far in this map.
Now that camera there that we saw by the back of Wine Cellar is actually, I want to say, a year-old camera placement that has seen a lot of play.
The ventilation one?
The one right, right on top of the vent unit.
That one's super useful. But it usually gets overlooked. You know, everybody knows about it, but it just gets overlooked because you're thinking about the other little nooks and crannies you could put it in the wine hallway, and more, and then it just gets, people don't think about that one. We are not seeing a very heavy roam game coming out from BRK just yet. Seems like they're mostly just focusing on that anchor, which makes sense, I suppose. That has worked for them in the past when they try to shift to the full anchor. But that's going to mean that BD, using that buck, is going to be able to try and put down a lot of pressure vertically in the same way that BRK used previously on that fuse. However, we do actually, as I say that, Yook is going to take it out on the back stairs, but that's going to allow Nesk to stay hidden here. Oh, I don't think he is, though. I think PZD
Ty
knows.
sees it. Ty saw him from the stairs. He's going to go for the pre-fire. Misses the target. Goes for the kill. The collapse happens, and we are going to see Ash go pick up that kill. Kamikaze with the trade. A wonderful collapse. Wonderful crossfire. You saw Ty. He was the buck. He got on his drone. You saw it at the top of the stairs there. Saw the tip of the gun. Called it out, and that's what happens when you don't necessarily know exactly where all the drones are.
And see, that's why you got to tuck your barrel away also into the wall instead of just sticking it around the corner, because that's going to give you away dead to rights. And now we have a 3-on-5 ensuing here again. But last time BRK was stuck in a 3R5 of a basement defense, it was on the previous map Consulate, but they were successful. So BRK still has a chance here to win this round with only 57 seconds left to go. BD is just looking for their opportunities to make this push happen.
Now, floor is getting opened up there by Ty. Looks as though he's going to go right above, I want to say, potentially the corner of the wine cellar. Zig, not having a mirror window on his side, is going to be tucked away. He's just listening for sound cues at the moment. The range of that shotgun isn't going to be enough to take out Blackbeard from the blue hall. He's just looking on close. Shots are going to go in. He's going to come on out to the cubby. Ty has been injured by one of the holes he opened up. Some shots going to go in towards him. He will get picked back up, though, and that looks like it's still going to be a 5-on-3. 20 seconds left to go. Black Dragons needs to make this push, and it needs to happen right now where they could forego some of the assumptions and then be taken out just like that C4 kill onto PZD from 1. There's the shots coming in from the connector. Kamikaze tags a double. Looks like one kill.
Diffuser's down.
That's Diffuser that's been taken out here. Zig now realizes it. He's going to go on over. He's going to hop on his drone here. He's getting to a safe spot, or he's going to go on over to the top spot. Looks like Diffuser gets down. Will he move on over? He's going to go for the kill.
Diffuser.
No, he shoots for the boot.
Oh,
no,
he misses.
He missed the target. Goes to the shotgun, and there it will be. He's going to tag 1. He's got 2 more to go. Kamikaze and 9XT. Kamikaze's still above here in the drop hatch. I don't think Zig realizes it, so he's going to look towards connector, and he actually overextends himself. Look towards the back hallway, and there is going to be 9XT inside a connector to take down the final kill. Black Dragons will walk away on this round as the victor.
My heart sank when he missed that shot onto the diffuse planter, just a little bit.
He saw him. I mean,
clear and as day.
I want to say he saw him, but at the same time, he might not have. He might have just been a little bit of tunnel vision or what. But they're very unfortunate, because that one, probably a double shotgun would have just taken him out.
He could have killed him with the last remaining bullets in his SMG. To be honest, I mean, that is truly unfortunate there. A nice try, though, by BRK, and the scoreline will be evened up. You could attribute that loss for BRK to the fact that they did lose their 2 roamers so early on into the round. That was Nesk and Yuk. However, we're going to see Black Dragons, as you can tell here, defending the gaming and bar, which is, I honestly didn't expect this. I knew BRK was going to be bringing us to this, as they are they're pretty good at those abnormal bomb sites, but I didn't think that BD was going to commit to it as well. This might actually be committed, like full meta here for the Latin American scene at least.
Yeah, we are seeing a very similar setup. You got 3 reinforcements on the library wall facing that north balcony. So it is very possible that these teams, albeit they probably have been scrim partners, they know each other very well, they have pulled things from one another, and that could be what we're seeing here. Little pop shot from Nest trying to go through the leaves of the evergreen trees out by Helipad. Looks as though an early kill there from Yuk onto Kamikaze. Good kill there, taking out the mute.
That was just straight through the main lobby window onto the site, I believe, or it could have been towards dining, but whatever the case be, nice aggressive play from Yuk, realizing that the rotation's still going to be happening on the defender side of things in that bar hold. He's going to put himself now onto the, I believe that's the east balcony, which is going to give him a lot of control over the main lobby. However, Psycho with a nice trade back onto Julio outside of the library.
And unfortunately for Psycho, the double flashbang will blind him momentarily. That's going to allow Nest to get up onto the ledge. He's going to look very closely on a pixel peek towards Psycho.
Wow, I'm going to be honest. Normally when you see somebody flashbang like that, they actually won't follow it up by getting up the ladder. But Nesk absolutely did. One, meanwhile, is going to take out Thigh. And now BRK back in the man count lead. As we do see Nesk start to drone out this library, he has actually put himself in a place where Psycho can't run out on him.
Nesk didn't actually see, or sorry, I was going to say Psycho didn't see the drone by Nesk, but there he goes. The side of his gun was actually covering it at the start. Nesk going to progress onto this very slowly, though. He's looking for a Valk cam, realizing that, hey, Psycho's going to be inside the library. That is a Valk. Cameras do get tossed out. Nesk trying to bait it out with sound. And he actually is going to forego. He's going to drop on down, move on in towards the vestibule, actually go all the way over towards the balcony of the bathroom.
I think this is the right play here. He's contending 2 people inside of that library, so even if he gets the 1 kill, he's going to die by the refrag in all likelihood. So Nesk is playing it smart, and he has tons of time for that rotation, as well as now information from his teammates. Teammates.
3-on-4 right now. Nesk is going to be contesting the top operators, the top defenders. However, the remaining operators here at BRK are going to be moving on over. It looks as though an office push is going to happen from Zig. This is going to be the collapse that they're looking for to get PZD and Psycho out of position. Yuk's also managing to make his way up. He's got to look up top, though, as that's where 2 of the defenders are. One's also coming to the back stairs. This is going to be a 4-way collapse onto BD. Looks as though PZD will take 1 dead before he gets removed there by Nesk. Nesk picks up a 2nd kill into Psycho. Last man alive is going to be 9XT in a 2-on-1. Diffuser's going to be the hand to Zig now.
Oh, he can't get the angle.
He cannot. He hears it, but he's going to go for the shot through the wall. Will not land him, and we will have Diffuser get planted. Now that means 9XT has to come on out of the game room, move on into bar. Pre-fire is going to happen. 9XT looking to go for the shots there. Nesk still waiting. Looks like, oh, a wonderful shot. He's now going to look towards left, towards dining hall. And that is right where Zig is going to be. Now the pre-fire might happen, might come on out. He's being spotted out, looks for the shots. He's going for the hit here. He hears it, and that is Zig moving in forward. He's going to go for the cam. Oh, and he baited it on out, and that's going to be a wonderful job there. 9XT, unfortunately, though, is going to have to go for this momentarily. Shots coming out.
Oh,
he's going to turn it, snag it down. Plenty of time here, plenty of time for 9XT to destroy this diffuser. Round is going to go in the hands here of BD. Black Dragon's going to walk away with round number 5.
We've seen 2 wonderful clutches now from Black Dragons to force out this map here on Chalet. And that was the 2nd of them. The first one, of course, being the very first round of this entire match. And we just don't expect these kinds of clutches, but they certainly are happening here for Black Dragons. Congratulations to PZD and 9XT both for keeping their team in Chalet. Now they actually have the lead here, going up against BRK, who's going to be defending that bar. It's been an entirely successful bar hold for both of these squads thus far. No one's been able to attack bar and have any amount of success. Although arguably, again, BRK kind of did win that last round. if it weren't for just a nice clutch there at the end from 9XT.
Now a very even and equal kill count here coming out of BRK. 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, all the way down the list there for one Julio, Uke, and Zig.
Meanwhile, as you can tell, 9XT and PZD both, they're going to be the clutch masters for their team. Single-handedly almost winning 1 round apiece. Now, this bar defense again from BRK. It's going to be Black Dragons going back onto the attack of this particular bomb site. Let's see how they choose to address it. Are they going to try and force out that library, or are they going to simply push in through the dining side of things?
I love seeing this bomb site come into the mainstream bomb sites for mainstream viability for Chalet. It's giving a new vibe to this map, where this map has oftentimes been kind of just a
stale.
A stale map, one map that every team feels comfortable on, not necessarily feels as their best map, but is comfortable on.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, you're definitely right. That bomb site does lend a little bit of a third element to the map as a whole, whether it be in a team's comfort or uncomfortability on this map. Just honestly, the entertainment value as well, because seeing that third bomb site is ever so nice when you don't have to see the same two over and over again.
And one Valcam's going to be spotted out here by Kamikaze. I think that's the second of 3 Valcams getting taken out very early on. One thing we haven't seen, and surprisingly we didn't see it on Consulate at all, was an IQ. We haven't seen any IQ tonight, to my recollection.
No, I don't believe we have, and that's been allowing the cameras to have a little bit more of a leeway to gather information, but it's not the end of the world. There's been a lot of mutes as well, so mute and IQ have an interesting engagement. Does slow down IQ somewhat, but at the same time, gathering info on those mutes is super useful.
Do the mute jammers stop IQ's device?
I would imagine they do. But more importantly, I think that the IQ does detect the mute jammers, which means that she will be gathering a lot of information on the mute jammers. But wow, okay, so Psycho's just going to go ahead and go for this crawl up the ladder. The grenade will cover his ascent, and he will make it to the balcony. This is incredibly important. Neski's got to contend with 2 people now, and he will miss the shot onto Psycho, which is going to mean and Psycho and Kamikaze are aware of his position, although he's playing a very common one. Kamikaze going to start things off here with a kill on to Uke. Nesk's cohort in this library. Now it's all down to Nesk to single-handedly hold against 2 different BD attackers.
Now, is likely going to be Kamikaze trying to push into the window. Zig will tag the kill there on a PZD, though.
Oh, wow.
4
Interesting
on
there.
4. That's the second time that they forego that balcony. Psycho, however, will tag Nesk down for the trade, but not before Ty gets taken down by a frag.
I don't think Ness knew that there were people already in gaming room, but he will actually deny the defuse plant. He could have done it from the drop, but I think the dropping down was the right call. Meanwhile, Psycho's going to be planting behind the A-bomb site, and we will have Zig take him down through that mirror window.
It looks as though the shots from the MPX of Valkyrie will hit 9XT down. Kamikaze going to be the last man alive. He is being spotted out, droned out, and spotted, and that is going to be it for round number 6, going into BRK's hands. I believe that makes it 3-3.
Good momentum there for BRK, and I like how they didn't commit themselves fully to that library hold. We've seen a lot, whenever a team decides to defend a bar gaming room, they almost certainly commit fully to library, either playing 2 or 3 players there and not falling off of it until it's too little too late. And in that instance, of course, Yuk did get taken out very early in the round, but we did have Nesk afterwards fall off of library without trying to contend the balcony push.
Now, if my memory serves me correctly, that is 3 successful bar and gaming room holds.
Nobody's won an attack on bar gaming yet. It's been entirely defensive sided, which is really quite interesting.
It's definitely eye-opening, especially to some teams that have been looking at this map saying, how do we play this map differently? We know how other teams play it. How do we play it differently? This is how you play it. You look heavily into this bomb site of the bar and gaming room. You take a look at how these teams are holding it, how these teams are attacking it, and you try to make it your own.
Right, and now basement defense from Black Dragons. Previously they were unsuccessful here. What happened is that we had BRK take full vertical control, open up the floor and just kill the anchors, as well as I think they got a kill or 2 onto the roamers earlier in the round without losing anyone themselves. Now, it doesn't seem like they have a fuse this time, so that extra amount of pressure isn't going to happen. or it doesn't even gonna exist for BRK, but all the same, they're still gonna clear out that roam game in all likelihood early on before pushing their way downstairs.
Yeah, Fuse had gotten a double kill last time at this site. One with his cluster charge, two tagging a kill coming from a defender coming out of the bar.
Psycho's gonna be roaming up in this library. Nesk has already made his way into the library balcony. This is extremely dangerous for Psycho. He's worried about the Nesk. He knows that his bookshelf window has been opened. He's just waiting for that drone, and it's gonna come through. Valkyrie is not actually gonna reposition. This is interesting. Julio might be able to nade from underneath.
You can definitely see that there are going to be multiple avenues covered here. Yuke's on this main balcony looking in towards display L. And it looks as though with Jaeger, that's going to be popping up from the back stairs. 9XT might be met with a couple bullets flying his way. And we still have Yuke on that balcony looking down towards Psycho. Like you said, has not necessarily repositioned too much other than going from corner to drop to corner, back and forth. Yuke has gotten off of that top balcony, moved on over to the fireplace window, and then decides, hey, let's get back up there, try to cover some lanes. 9XT actually navigated out. He's going to go back downstairs.
Very slow, patient round here from both of these teams. Neither of them really wanted to take the jump, the leap, the risk to make a serious play onto the other.
Now, if Psycho and Kamikaze can waste about 20 more seconds or so and then safely make it back to site, that's going to be drastically in favor of Black Dragons, being able to waste over 2/3 of the round.
They've done just that. Kamikaze, even to put a cherry on top, is going to take out Yuke, and Psycho's going to eliminate Nesk, I believe that is. Yes, and now it's a 3-on-5 with only 49 seconds. BRK not seeming like they really have a full grasp on this round, as they do lose another player to 9XT. It is a 2-on-5.
I mean, now with this garage being opened up, it's not enough to actually get in through. Kamikaze's going to go back downstairs. Psycho's still inside of this library. Instead, he's now over in connector, feels the nade. He's going to back on out of there and likely stay inside for the moment. He hears the shot, he hears the entry from Julio. Camera's going to come on out, but the shed shot's going to answer in return. Another progression going to happen here as 9XT and Kamikaze both are out of commission. Julio falls down into bar. He's going to give away his position. That's going to give the cue for Psycho to look on down, and shots go down. Julio will fall. Last man alive is going to be the shots there, and I think that's one who's just been taken out. Ty will come on up strong with the final kill of round number 7. Black Dragon now leads by 1.
And I believe they are also on match point, as they are 3-4 in favor of Black Dragons. So, Black Dragons looking to push us to that third map. As you may or may not know, BRK did win the previous map very decisively. And if we get this victory in favor of Black Dragons, we will go to map number 3, which is going to be Bank.
True fact, we've only seen Kitchen Trophy held once.
Yep. And it was successful. It was a clutch by PZD, but it essentially strategically was unsuccessful as BRK picked apart that Black Dragons defense fairly well. Now BRK going to be defending the basement for their hopes of pushing this into overtime and denying the map number 3. I believe last time they defended this, they also got a really good run out, and they managed to put themselves in such a man advantage that when BD was making the push into the bomb site, they just didn't have enough power.
Now BRK is going to need to win 3 out of the next 4 rounds if they want to secure this spot at LAN. However, it's going to be quite a feat. Black Dragon just needs to win this round in particular. They need to win this attack if they want to take it to map 3, keeping their hopes and dreams alive of trying to redeem themselves from their semifinal defeat last season.
Meanwhile, BRK's trying to redeem themselves from their final defeat in the last season. I mean, both of these teams, we talked about it before, they both went to LAN, had a good run at LAN, and unfortunately both lost at LAN. BD is going to be clearing out this library. They've got plenty of time here. No contention into the library so far from BRK, but we will have Nesk pushing up these main stairs. He's looking for the possibility to take out the Twitch on the balcony. He's going to be droned out by PZD, whether he knows it or not, and that's going to give PZD a leg up in this engagement. Meanwhile, Kamikaze coming in through Master. He's conscious of the bandit who was inside of the upstairs hallway. Nesk is going to take out PZD. That's by the main stairs. That's going to be a good initial kill there for BRK. It looks like they want to bring us to overtime.
Very possible. Now Twitch, like you said, just got taken out. A minute and a half left to go. Yuke's going to try to dodge a couple bullets by drop shotting, moving away. He knows he can't win the engagement. He's now just trying to backtrack, waste as much time as possible. Kamikaze's going to try to fight that and progress even further. Tosses a flashbang to the left, looks to the left, making sure that he didn't get over to the shelving unit over there. And Psycho, he's also been disoriented. He's going to move on over towards the kitchen stairs.
It's only a minute left for a BD, and they have control, but they do not have the man count, as well as there are still Yuk roaming in that gaming hallway, waiting for BD to progress onto him. Actually, he's going to fall back downstairs, but still, there's not much time left, and the pressure is mounting.
We've seen this pretty regularly from both teams, is once that 60-second mark hits, everyone gets back onto site, they hunker down. However, there's Jaeger popping on out from the snowmobile garage, unexpectedly meeting the headshot, or the shots from 9XT.
And there's that man count bouncing back into an even count.
Now we saw this almost go in favor of the defenders last time there was a clutch moment here going down the wire. However, Black Dragons looking like they want to take this home as 9XT is working his way towards the back hall. Holes being opened up inside of the fireplace stairwell, or fireplace hallway here, and we are going to have a couple people. That's Ty also tossing an nade down in from the drop hatch in the connector. With 15 seconds left to go, they need to start this up. That's going to be poor timing of a flashbang. It's going to flash Ty. Kamikaze's going to snag one kill, picks up the trade there. That's going to be Julio getting a trade. Now Ty, in return, answers with his own frag as Psycho picks up a kill.
Timer!
There's going to be Yuke, and the defenders are going to win this one. Black Dragons, no, that's not. I'm sorry, the attackers are going to win this round. That's going to be the end of the round. Black Dragons able to win this in just a hair notice tag in the final kill in the connector. Black Dragons will win this 5-3. We're going to go into map number 3, which is going to be Bank.
That last round came down to a millisecond victory there for the attackers. If the Habana had not shot at that bandit and killed him at the instant bandit killed the buck, it would have been overtime for BRK as it was on the 0-second count. What a nice try there on that defense.
Could have very well been the difference between the 17 millisecond ping, which we saw the Latin American scene have, as opposed to like the 60, 75 millisecond ping that we have in the other regions. But no, nonetheless, ladies and gents, that is going to be map number 2 under wraps. Black Dragon walking away with that victory. Now that is one map apiece, which means we will get underway in our third and final map of this evening, of this series. And again, winner will walk away with that seed into LAN. And we'll have to see them next week to determine the actual seeding, whether or not it's going to be first or second.
Yeah, I think we all expected this match to go to the third map. No big surprises. And it will, you know, on Bank, I think it could be anyone's game, to be honest.
It definitely could be. I mean, I'm expecting to see some Jackal play. We saw Bank last series. There was no Jackal. I'm expecting to see him this play. And we talked about it before, that when we have a lot of roamers on top side and there's a lot of pressure on servers, whatever it may be, when the bomb site's downstairs, we haven't seen a lot of pressure from Garage. That's one of the things I'm going to be looking for from these teams is, are they going to identify this extra pressure on the top floor inside of open area, and are they going to try to push in through Garage?
I mean, in theory, Garage is feasible. However, we haven't seen a team really put a lot of emphasis on the Garage as of late. It doesn't seem to be inside of the meta right now, and it could find its way there, but I'm not sure. I mean, we saw it played when Montaigne was the meta, you know, because you could make that easy, concise push on straight on in through the Garage, cover your teammates, and lock out the Garage as the attackers easily. But I don't know. Since he got phased out, he just hasn't seen it. Just hasn't been kind of the lane people want to push.
Yeah,
anymore.
I was gonna say we saw it with the Monty, with the Glass being able to get behind the armored car, just look on and basically close out the red hall. But like you said, after the nerfs that both of those operators had seen, that kind of faded away, and now it's all about pushing in through server, opening up the drop hatches. Every now and again, we might see some kind of push from the tellers dropping into the vault area, but even that kind of phased out. I remember actually, I think it was season 3, I think it was, we saw our first ever quick drop, and it was in Bank, dropping into that red shower area, if you will, where the sprinklers are going, and that was definitely like a sight to see. It was like one of those like, Oh, snap. Hibana can do this sort of thing?
Yeah, quick drops used to be kind of like one of those things where you could bring it out in the middle of a round or the beginning of a round and catch the defenders off guard. Since then, it's kind of become sort of
the
like
expected thing. Like you watch those hatches when they get opened.
Yeah, everybody's kind of prepped and ready to go when it comes to those drop downs. They're going to have at least one defender staring at it for the first 30 seconds.
Now, what was there anything that surprised you or that you want to talk about from our previous bank game, which we saw earlier, that kind of like was like, hey, this is part of the Latin American scene, which isn't a part of anything else?
Not necessarily, no. Not actually, there wasn't a whole lot of deviation when it came to the Latin Americans, or at least what we saw in between Fontaine and how we saw Instride defend or attack on Bank. There was no big surprise. It was also a pretty decisive match. So there weren't a lot of rounds played. There wasn't a lot of deviation, and there's a lot less to talk about there, to be honest. But the lack of a jackal, that's somewhat different, I suppose. But that's more of a thing that the other regions have over the Latin American region. Is like we actually bring jackal. We account for the fact that we need to clear out these roamers. And you know, there were a lot of instances, and we talked about it before, where if we had Ints or Black Dragon, or sorry, not Black Dragons, rather, bring that jackal, they probably would have had a much more easier go of winning some of their attack rounds because they were just clearing out that roamer.
I think that's right. I mean, we like you said, Gohan was inside of the closet. They missed the Twitch and the Hibana both missed him, and that led to one of the rounds just annihilation. But we are going to get underway here, ladies and gentlemen. This is our third and final map in this series. Winner takes all here on Bank. Now, Black Dragon's going to start on attack. BRK Esports going to start on defense. And like I said, winner will go up into the LAN event here in Cologne, Germany. Loser is going to have to watch it at home.
So all the pressures come down to this one last map. Now, basement defense going to be starting us off here for BRK. That's going to be bringing that Jaeger, same as usual. Julio on the Echo. Valkyrie from 1. Zig is going to be bringing Pulse and Yuk the Bandit. All pretty standard for these players. Meanwhile, on attack, PZD with the Twitch. Thigh with the Thermite. The Ash from Kamikaze. Psycho on Hibana, and 9XT on that Blackbeard.
Now there is going to be a little bit of a roam game at least, as we do have the drop hatch inside of that top janitor's closet getting opened up after the reinforcements went down inside of the middle CEO office. So obviously there's going to be some kind of roam game. How strict it's going to be, how fluid it's going to be is going to be up to Nesk and Yuk, as those are the two chosen ones.
The main thing we want to see is how committed it's going to be. How long are we going to have BRK stay upstairs? Are they going to try and force it out, draw a line in the sand, and just play in their little sand castle upstairs, or will they fall back into the bomb site as soon as they get pressured?
I'm going to say they'll stay up until 60 seconds exactly. that tend to be how they fall back. It's like 60 seconds, we're going.
How it's been happening this whole match?
Yes, that is my prediction. However, PCD is going to be here. He's repelled into the CEO office. He's going to start his clear from there as Ty continues to drone on out for him. Now Nesk is going to be holding down Garage, keeps on re-peeking. I like this. It means, like, the fact that Nesk is here looking at Garage means that they are not assuming that Garage is just not going to be touched.
How many teams do that?
Yes. How many teams make assumptions that this is not a viable entry point? Because the moment you assume that, guess what? The attacking squad's going to be there, and you're going to regret making that assumption.
Yeah, about 80% of teams right now are they just assume Garage is empty until it becomes too late. They forfeit control. I like that BRK is playing that game inside the Garage, but also like how they're playing so much on the bomb site right now. As time ticks away, we are at the half-round point.
They all fell back to site.
Yeah, and BD don't really have, they have control. Like, they have control over the entire top floor right now.
They do,
but they don't have any actual avenues yet into the bomb site.
Yeah, Nesk and you kind of fell back earlier than expected, I'll say. But nonetheless, they walk away without getting any damage done to them, so they will be very viable as the rounds continue to unfold. Looks as though we are going to have the server drop get opened up, which is where Pulse was. Looks like he's going to back on out. Nesk, though, picking up 1 kill into Kamikaze there in the main stairwell.
He's going to have been lit up, but he still came out on top in the engagement, so that's the important thing. You can see here, not a lot of emphasis being placed on the server by either team. There is a Pulse playing in server who is single-handedly holding it, but Black Dragons aren't attacking that way. They're going for these drop downs instead. And with only 37 seconds left to go, they really need to make this push happen now.
Yeah, this is basically going to be a quick drop into, I want to say, what we were just saying, something we haven't seen much of. It's going to be a quick drop into the lockers area, or into that reception vault area. They're going to try to pop in through the window of B, and hopefully they'll be successful. Again, Zig's calling out that no one's here. They're going to go for the back tush. We already see Tide dropped. Everyone's here. It looks like some shots are going to go into garage from 9XT. Wonderful push. That's going to be a 4-on-3 now, and 2-on-4. Now we have a 9XT last man alive. He's got the shield in front of his head. One Zig and Julio are going to be here. One gets down in the process. Digo's going to come on out. He gets finished, but again, he will not have time to get that diffuser. Tries to go into the cold and will not see anybody. Round is going to go in the hands of defenders, and fortunately for them, that's going to be the first round on the board for them.
So, BRK with a nice turtle strat on the basement will come out on top, and you can see their emphasis on the defense was so focused over by the elevator side of things, by the B-bomb side, rather than the server, which is different, to say the least. Now, Black Dragons, they're going to be going to their own defense, and it will be, I believe, onto the same exact bomb site, that basement hole, as we so commonly see.
We're having Capital be chosen this time around for this basement, and I want to say that that is most likely going to be used from the server doorway, kind of where we see 9XT, onto the wall facing the between A and B, the wall by the red corridor. And typically that's just going to be trying to stop any kind of mirror window, that if it's there, or just any kind of grenade toss.
Yeah, that would stand to reason. That'd be a good attack strategy. Try and counter the red wall holes if they're going for a server take, although we haven't been seeing a server take so far, having only played one round. We'll see if that is what BRK's intention is. Spawn. Yep, it looks like it might be a server take. They have spawned primarily on, in a position on the north side. Some have come from the back alley, though. It's going to be a little bit of everything.
This is a 4-1 split. There are 4 roamers from Black Dragons on the top floor.
Okay, so if they did commit to a server tunnel server take right now, it would almost certainly be a wipe. Yeah. All they need to do is get by whoever's holding in the A bomb site, and it's done. And there's nobody holding in the A bomb site. They're going to drone this out right now. One might detect that there is no one holding in server, nor is there anyone holding in the bomb site, and they could just waltz on in.
Nesk is already there. He's going to move right on in. Now he doesn't have the diffuser. Julio's got to follow suit right behind him, but he is. He's already in server. They're already there. Now you see all blue members. It's all Black Dragons. They're all trying to come back on the site. They realize the mistake and the overlook that they've made. Yuke's actually going to be here. He's got his drone in position. Sees him. Goes for the shots with a wonderful pre-fire. Nesk will land the shot there on the 9XT. Zig, however, does meet his own fate by Ty. And it looks as though that early push got them into position, but it has not gotten the plant down just yet. BRK, unfortunately, not able to take advantage fully of getting onto site.
I think they were a little antsy, did not expect there to be 4 roamers. They didn't count out the roamers, they just counted out the fact that there was no one in server. And because of that, it did allow for BD to rotate back onto the site.
Looks as though the drop shot from one lands yet again. Another kill on the Kamikaze. 4-on-3 still. I like that position from Uke. He was inside of the alley corridor, waiting to get in. He was just on drone, calling it out for everyone at the top of server stairs to pre-fire, go for the shots, go for the kill. Now, Ty does have a C4. He's able to toss on out, but who has got his drone there? He's going to call that forward. A minute left to go. One's trying to prone his way in.
There's no thermite right now for BRK, so they're not going to be able to open up that wall quite the way they want.
I hope he goes garage, because that late garage game, that is where he's going to go. That late garage game is going to be killer.
This flank from BRK, they're just waiting patiently for that Nesk to find his way into the garage. Meanwhile, the fire arrows are coming out on this push.
C4 gets tossed on over, and there's going to be one trying to hop up on the desk. Does not land what needed to be done, but however, Julio is there to get the trade. And Ty, unfortunately, not having any more C4, he will be still there underneath of the desk. Now, Nesk has gotten his way in. There's the flank. That's what needed to happen. Nesk with a double kill on a PCD, and Ty, round number 2, will go to BRK Esports.
Nice read there for Nesk, coming from the garage, realizing that the entire BD defense is focused towards the server, and all he needed to do was waltz up behind them. That is all that was necessary to win the round, and now BRK feeling very strong here on Bank. It was a very simple attack there for them, straight in through the server. They did give up a little bit of potential momentum in that they didn't force out the bomb site, allowing BD to rotate off that 4-1 roam game. However, despite that, the slow methodical take worked in the end for BRK.
It did, and I have to hand it to Nesk and the rest of his team. Whoever made that call of, hey, get your butt over to that garage and go for the flank, that was a mid-game adaptation that ultimately won the round. We are going to see Tellers and Archives get chosen here as the next bomb site for BRK, and they're going to be opening up a lot of the drop hatches, playing top floor. Again, very similar to what we've seen previous teams do if you want to hold on to Tellers and Archives. I'd like to also see some of the open area hold, which we talked previously about. I'd like to see how that's going to unfold today.
Yeah, we've been seeing very much a focus on the more standard bomb sites so far in this map. And in contrast to what we saw in Chalet earlier today, that is somewhat surprising. I mean, Chalet, bar, right? And here we're seeing just Archives. No open area, no CEO, nothing surprising. Just Archives for the second defense of BRK, since they were successful in their abasement. Now, Black Dragons, they're going to be attacking onto the said Archives, and it looks like they're going to come from the lobby. I really like that attack. Coming from the lobby is usually the right way to handle this particular bomb site, unless you're trying to clear from the top down, which is actually poor observation in the initial there. It looks like, yeah, BG's going for that top-down attack.
Now, PZD previously has gotten his way into the CEO office, but this time BRK is ready for it as they have, I believe that's going to be smoke on the top floor inside a janitor's closet with a mirror window. Ooh, actually gets a C4 underneath. Wonderful eye, we'll call it.
Yeah, Nesk playing in that storage room with the mirror is going to delay this attack so very long. Because, oh wait, no, that's a Habana, I think, onto the Mira. That's going to force Nesk to rotate downstairs.
He goes all the way downstairs, all the way down into the lockers and into the lockers and main hallway by garage.
Interesting. It didn't really, the mirror window and storage didn't really save any time there, as you could tell, for BRK. Just because all of that needed to happen was Psycho placed a Habana charge onto it, and it was kaput.
But what it did do was allow for, it used up at least one Hibana charge, so now they're going to have a tough time trying to push in if they were from open area into Archives. Or worse yet, even from the stairs, which you see the rappel happening right now. Nesk hears it, he hears the rappel, go for the kill, wonderful shot. Hey, he says, okay, you took a raid of my mirror, guess what, I'll take rid of your life, and Nesk just winning that engagement very easily.
Nesk is very clearly a vengeful beast.
That's also why you don't rappel down skylights, period.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, that is something we should talk about. The fact that Psycho rappelled down that skylight, okay, I understand your team told you they have control, but that is just super dangerous.
You don't do, there's not a single skylight in this map that I would suggest ever rappelling onto.
Wait, thinking, and agreed.
There it is. Now the wall will get opened up. There is a thermite, though, to do the work of the Habana that has fallen early on. 35 seconds to go. Yuke's going to progress back here into the back of Archives as one is on the tight 90-degree corner. Wall gets opened up. Feet will not get tagged. Shotgun from underneath. That's also Diffuser that's fallen. Gas grenade going to come on out. That's going to finish him off. Nesk with another kill here. 2 on 5. 9XT and Kamikaze last two alive. And it looks as though one will swack down the kill there on the Kamikaze. 9XT last man. He's inside of the lobby downstairs by elevator. 10 seconds ago. Disorientation not going to be in his favor. He's going to turn his back to open area, and that will be the end of him. Yuke swinging on that with the MP7, and that is BRK winning round number 3. They now go up 3-0 on Bank.
What a round there from Nesk and just BRK in general. They very clearly have a better understanding of this map. Black Dragons have been putting in quite a lot of work on these rounds, but it's just not enough. BRK manages to come back from everything that Black Dragons throws at them. Now, BD going back onto the defense, BRK back onto the attack. No surprises in the operator selection, and life will continue. Not sure exactly where they're defending, as I do not read Portuguese, and it will be, ladies and gentlemen, drumroll please, the basement defense yet again from Black Dragons, as they have, as of this moment, been unsuccessful in the entirety of defending or attacking. I mean, they haven't won a single round.
Now Nesk is shining bright like he has previously. This I don't believe Nesk has played much Sledge, if I recall correctly, unless he has been, and I just am not recognizing it. But
Oh, he's been playing primarily Ash.
Ash, that's what I thought. Him being on Sledge is a little bit different, especially for a bomb site which doesn't necessarily have too much vertical authority, we'll say.
Yeah, no, the vertical destructibility is not going to be coming out here for BRK.
The thought process has to be for clearing out roamers on the top floor, potentially opening up janitor closet or CEO wall or what have you.
I mean, that's going to be very useful, but at the same time, you are giving up that 3 speed with the fantastic gun that Ash does have, which is still a big risk. I think that Nesk will be able to make it work, though. Now, again, BRK just going to be clearing out these top floors before they push downstairs. You really got to do this on Bank. You got to make sure you have full grasp of the roam game. Unless you just focus entirely onto a server push, which is what happens a lot of the time. As you can see here, Black Dragons, they are not going for that 4-1 split anymore. They're going to be holding a little bit more steadfast in the bomb site.
See, I like how with BRK Esports and Nesk doing that late roam the last time on this site, it forced Psycho to use one of those Valcams in Garage, which ultimately, as we said before, is the Garage push is non-existent. And so that's going to force one of the Valcams to be taken out of commission from somewhere else and be put down into Garage for that potential late flank.
BRK now going for that push, having control over this roam. They've droned out everything they need to drone out. They're covering the angles, and now with still half of the round to go, they are going to poise themselves to push into the bomb sites.
Yeah, Black Dragons is playing a 5-man on-site defense, or very close to being on-site. One of the things that we used to see, I think it was during the 6th Invitational and possibly Season 1 of Year 2, is we actually see a pulse inside of gold bars looking in towards server and just using that heartbeat sensor to say, okay, this is where that push is coming from. We haven't seen that just yet, and therefore, we are going to be seeing Kamikaze utilize that yokai to get that kind of information. Looks as though with 3 backing gold bars, this is kind of a little collapse, a little claustrophobic, I want to say.
Yeah.
PCD's going to toss out 1 gas grenade. 50 seconds left to go. There are 2 members inside of the middle office looking down through the drop hatch.
Black Dragons right now are a little bit bunched up, but at the same time, BRK, they don't have a lot of direct avenues to make this attack happen. They're going to have to get very spontaneous, very fast, with only 34 seconds to go.
And now it looks as though Zig will try to move in forward. No, we actually have Nesk. Nesk is going to be the one to try to bait these out. He's going to take this damage and allow Julio to potentially get the diffuser planted momentarily. That is going to be the last gas grenade, I believe, coming out of PZD. There are 10 seconds left to go. Now the C4s should be tossed out. You can already see Valkyrie getting into position. Plant's going to go down by Julio, though. Will he get C4? No, he won't. He's going to get that down with plenty of time to walk away. However, as I say that, we will have the shots being laying down back and forth. One's going to snag a kill out of Kamikaze. Back and forth it goes. The trade comes out. Yuke picks up Psycho. A 4-on-3. Now with diffuser planted, that's going to leave about 35 seconds to go. And we have a flank. No, we do not have a flank coming out just yet. Ty and Kamikaze, last man alive. Nesk is going to down one, pick off another. Ty, though, will get the trade down onto him as he swings on out into the servers. He will be taken down, and BRK is going to win round number 4. We are going to see this go 4-0. Potentially what could be a flawless map here for BRK.
BRK with an excellent execution into the main server, clearing out that full roam game upstairs before just doing a basic server take. I mean, nothing really to say about that there. You saw clearly that BD, they poorly spaced their gas canisters, and then they didn't utilize their C4s at all. Somewhat of an interesting decision there from them. And then after that, I mean, BRK just planted the diffuser. I mean, again, a very basic BRK take. Now, we will be having BRK going on to defense to hopefully get this flawless map. They are on match point, of course. They will be going into the basement, which is their preferred bomb site, I believe. And as you can see here from the scoreboard, BRK has got to be feeling very, 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 very strong here on Bank. Very happy. And meanwhile, Black Dragons seemingly just doesn't have a full grasp of this particular map. I mean, we saw a struggle between these two teams in the previous maps played. Here on this map, nah, it's definitely BRK.
Yeah, instead of a struggling on the maps, it's basically just Black Dragon struggling to win a round. And unfortunately, that's how this map is unfolding. But at the same time, this just goes to show that you don't bring BRK Esports to bank. So judging by this map, this round, or this game in particular, if a team is to go up against BRK Esports in the LAN event, I foresee a
no bank.
A no bank ban, basically a directed bank ban saying, no, BRK, we're done with it.
Yeah, especially considering how good BD was looking earlier in this matchup, I don't think that anyone's going to want to bring BRK to this.
Now, PZD had a very good drone. You saw the patience. He decided to not tag Uke. Instead, he's going to continue to call that out. He's going to call that out, and potentially Uke will be wallbanged through the cubicles inside of the open area. No, looks like he's navigated away. There's still 2/3 of the round left to go. Plenty of time here for the attackers to go forward and kind of progress onto the site, but there's still 5 defenders they have to deal with.
Yeah, and again, Zig is just soloing this server. Black Dragon's not pressuring the server at all. It looks like they're going to go for the same drop-down attack that they did last time, which did not work at all. And only half the round to go here. They've only just now started to take control over these, well, the drop-downs that they're going to utilize in their push. This is very worrisome. Oh, look at that, rappelling onto a on a skylight again. It's so dangerous, Psycho.
Now, we did have Zig inside of the servers utilizing that heartbeat sensor. Since that got opened up, my expectation of him is to rotate back into gold, which he might be doing just now because the drop hatch of server did open. No, he's actually going to stay inside the server. He's behind the server stack. Uke will be blinded out, though. We'll see where he's actually in. He's going to be inside of the lobby of the site here, the lobby of the downstairs vault. Moving on over, he has been droned out. But Zig still going to hard pressure the server. Right now, it's not looking like BRK's in a position to stop kind of the drops from Black Dragons. Kamikaze's going to be one of the first members to drop in through tellers here momentarily. 40 seconds to go. Julio's now looking in from gold towards Red Hall.
It all comes down to BRK being able to receive these drop downs with only 36 seconds.
Flashbang's going to come out. Uke tags one. He gets traded with another shot. PZD unable to get another kill here. Onto the shots coming in through gold. And we will have Psycho smacking the shots there onto one. A 3-on-3. And with 20 seconds left to go, Ty needs to move in forward. Psycho's going to hold the cover as Ty goes for the plant. Now Zig and Nesk, last two alive. Nesk doesn't hear it. He's going to stay put for now. There comes the shots, and there's a tag down. Last man alive is going to be Zig. And PCD's there to drop the headshot, grab the frag, and that is Black Dragons finally securing a round here.
What a collapse from Black Dragons. Definitely deserved that win. But will it be enough now that they've won a single round on Bank? They have to win 3 more in a row to get overtime and keep their hopes and dreams alive of that LAN event. What happened in that round was a little bit of an unorthodox attack into the basement, of obviously ignoring the server and pushing straight in through their drop downs, and it actually ended up working somewhat, as it seems like BRK got a little bit too passive, they didn't try to hard hold the drops, when arguably they really easily could have.
They could have.
Now, BD, they're going to go down into their own basement defense. What happened here last time a BD defended was BRK simply took control of the entire two top floors. Then they pushed in through the server, got a very basic defuse plant through the server wall, and that's the end of the round.
Now, we are still on match point. We're on series point.
Oh.
We are on LAN invite point here for BRK Esports.
Yo.
What do you want?
Smoke hasn't brought, or sorry, Black Dragons hasn't brought a smoke. They've opted to, they're opening up the server wall. They brought an echo instead, and they're intentionally opening that up, and they haven't brought a smoke. That is so interesting. What is the strat here from Black Dragons? They've also opened up the garage wall. Is this just another one of those roam games, the heavy roam games that they did last time? I don't see it right now. Most of them are in the basement. I'm curious about the setup.
They've got PZD at the very top. Psycho and 9XT are going to be on the main floor. Psycho's rotating back down towards Garage. But, yeah, this is not one of those 4-1 splits which we saw previously.
Well, what's the strat? I like how Thai is conscious of one's Twitch drone, putting down these mirror windows late. He knows where it needs to go, and he knows he can't see anyone through it right now, so why put it down early? Risk the Twitch drone.
Now PZD, who was the roamer topside, he went all the way back downstairs. 9XT is going to follow suit momentarily, and there's almost going to be no roam game here.
It's interesting the way that Black Dragons have set themselves up on this bomb site. It does really seem like it heavily favors overall just the. It really seems like it's for BRK, but I can't imagine they're going to be doing something for BRK with the pressure is so high right now. Looks like BRK might be just going for another server attack. They're going to open up the drop downs, of course, but ultimately it looks like they might push in through the server. BD has nobody playing in Red Hall, but they have plenty of mirror windows by the B bomb site facing into A.
Now it's possible, I would not expect it, but it's possible that the wall is getting opened up to allow for a lack of frag grenades getting tossed in. That way the yokai has a lower chance of getting destroyed.
It's also that right now the way it's open, I don't think you can go through it. Which means that they're going to need to use someone with soft wall destructibility to open it up. A Thermite can't play a charge on that as far as I can tell.
That's also very possible. Yes, if you can't make it so that they can just back their butt up and play it backwards.
See how it is BRK chooses to handle this. They do have the sledge, which might be just enough. If that Twitch drone's able to open up the mirror window, that's going to really put a hamper onto the Black Dragon's defense. You can see the Echo drone prepping itself to go in and try to stop the defuse plant.
Now here we go. It's a 5-on-5. The action is going to unfold right now. 30 seconds to go. The yokai stopped once. The yokai has stopped twice.
20 seconds.
Are going to see if the yokai can stand the test of time. No, it's going to get destroyed. It will stop it, but however the diffuser or the C4 comes out, Julio will fall, gets taken out of commission. Psycho with a double kill on a Uke, and that's going to be a 3-on-5 now with Kamikaze getting destroyed. Psycho's going to be drastically hurt. Plant's going to try to go down by Zig. They don't have a line of sight. There's no smoke. There's no C4 getting tossed out. Zig's going to get that plant gone, and PZD's going to be the last man alive. This is going to be it. BRK Esports is going to win this round. Diffuser planted, and it is going to be inside of BRK Esports' grasp. They have grabbed it, and they are now going to go to LAN as the second Latin American team to follow suit here with Team Font.
Yeah, and of course they'll decide on the seeding there, but congratulations to BRK coming out on top there. I'm not sure where one came from there at the end of the round, but that was very clearly the saving grace, coming up behind the defenders and getting that 3K, opening up for his team.
There we have it, ladies and gents. Congratulations to